Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Vintage Story. So at present, I am just putting the finishing touches on our bread ovens. And there we go, we got basically our first 4 bread ovens now. They're clay ovens. And I'm going to be getting some things together, because we are going to have to basically take some loads of stuff up to the mountain. I mean, we will be able to come back down here. It's not like the whole place is going to be on fire and burning, but we probably won't be traveling down here a ton, though. But I'm going to take a few loads of things up to the mountain, and that way we've got access to them if we need them. Things like, I'll bring some dried grass up there, you know, in case we need to start bonfires. It's still not like really cold or anything, but I'm probably going to take a little bit of time and go ahead and use, I think I've got some iron blooms done, and I think I'm going to go ahead and run like 4 more bloomeries. I'm going to make up like 15 iron plates. So it's going to be a little bit of a process there, but because I would like to get some lanterns, because we're going to actually, you know, we're going to need to light things up. And I should probably fill this up with fresh water so I can set up a water source up here. But I'd like to have some lanterns. I may make some oil lamps too. I mean, oil lamps, they're not that great for keeping drifters away. Well, no, I probably shouldn't. I should probably keep stockpiling my fat, because we're kind of at that point where we're starting to use up our fat really, really quickly. So, basically mechanical power. You start mechanical power and you can say goodbye fat. Like, you use so much of it. I do have all those iron bars. I'm going to try to keep those, though. I'm just going to make like 15 iron plates, so we can make a good 15 lanterns. Okay, and let me go ahead, grab our pickaxe heads as well. And we'll grab some shovel heads to take up there with us. I actually might get some charcoal going, because I've neglected it for a bit and I'm getting low on charcoal. Doing all this iron, we went from like 500 charcoal to like a stack. I'm going to wait to do these blooms until I can do them kind of all at the same time. Let's see, let's go get storage vessels. And these bees, like I said, I haven't harvested them because I just haven't had time. We've got a lot of honey built up in here, but... And actually, I've got some in the house, too. So, I mean, I think we're good on honey. I can wait. I don't want to clean these completely out right at the back end of the year, so... Let's go ahead and take our flour. I'll probably get the flour that's over at the house, too. And I'll be keeping up with my animals, so probably the only food group that should go down, really, is going to be dairy. Well... Maybe. If I don't, like, that ewe is pregnant, and she's probably going to be having the baby here fairly soon. But she's still only a generation 1, so somewhat troublesome to milk, so I might make my way down here, though, on occasion and milk her. We'll see. And technically, if I want to forge, of course, I can just take my forge and my anvil up here and do it up here, you know? Maybe set up bloomeries and stuff like that. I've got plenty of fire bricks made up. Charcoal, I've got to make charcoal. I'll get that done. Basically just a lot of like little last minute things I got to get done to get us set up, because my goal is, I mean, like I said, winter's not bad. In winter, we've got clothes now, like better clothes for this winter. So I mean, winter's not really scary where we live, but my goal is just to get up here and just basically become a hermit for at least a big chunk of winter, you know. Let's go ahead and open this up. We'll just put our water in there in case I need that. And we're basically just going to set ourselves up a little base camp here. What's the grain other... Oh, wow. This is actually better than my cellar up here. I like it. I like it a lot. It's because we're like in the ground. Yeah, 6.6 years on our flour. That is not bad at all. And I'll set the clay ovens once I get up here. I'll set them up. Let me actually get some food though. And I'm just going to use the storage vessel for now to store that stuff. And I'll be making a bunch of crates because we're probably going to have a lot of andesite stone and hopefully a lot of andesite smooth stone as we excavate this area. So we'll just set up crates and start kind of stockpiling that. And I'll probably get a door to set up at the mouth of the cave. I think most of our excavation will be on the main base and not as much that little like midway rock structure here. But we may go ahead, depending on how things go, I'm going to try to get that excavated a bit too. Of course, building into the mountain, we've got a lot of clearing to do. And our winter clothes, that's 100%, 92%, 91%. They should be good for us. Probably do with some bandages. I'll go ahead and make up a bit. Take a few stacks of those up, and then I need to take up some food as well. Just some, not really food, but like ingredients. And I might take up some cans of fruit or something. Actually, now that I think about it, I think I had, yeah, I got leather. Should probably go ahead and grab this. Oh, and we need to make new gambeson legs because ours are gone. But let me grab our spelt ale, because that'll fit in the bucket perfectly. We might get some wine later on too, but and then let's take red currant with us, I think. Okay, I got us loaded up on food. We've got a nice variety here. Got everything stored away. I'm gonna have to get my other cooking pots while I'm down there. They're over at the forge because, you know, I bake food at the forge. Alright, now these bloomeries should be finishing up fairly soon, so I'm going to get cracking on making some lanterns. I might even go ahead and make 2 copper plates too. Oh, and I should probably take some temporal gears with me. I've got them. I need to sort all these like dump chests. I've got temporal gears and all kinds of stuff just in like really random places at the moment. And hopefully we'll find some copper and maybe some iron stuff in the process, because we know that those are readily available in the mountains. So anyways, I'll be back. I'm going to do a bunch of smithing, basically 5 bloomeries worth of iron, and turning those into plates. That way I can make some lanterns, and then we'll be all set up to, I think, go up to the mountains. I do need to get the gambeson. I need to make sure and not forget about that. But, oh, and one thing I wanted to mention real quick is, I don't know if it's fixed, but something just to be aware of. I know used to. I haven't noticed it on this series, so I'm wondering if maybe they fixed it. In my main world, I've got Helvhammer, so it's kind of a mute point on there, so I don't know with iron processing if it still happens. But used to, I know it was possible to get blooms where you didn't have enough voxels to actually finish the ingot, you know? It was possible to get ones that were incompletable. But if that ever does happen, like I said, I haven't seen it on this series thus far, but if that ever does happen to you, just make sure and keep the unfinished bloom. Just make sure and keep it, because you'll be able to fix it later on with the Helvhammer, but it may not happen anymore, so I'm not for sure. But anyways, back to some forging. And our blooms over there just got finished up, so the metal should still be pretty warm. I'm going to go ahead, well, all except for that one. Which is good timing, because I'm just finishing up on these. And so we'll already be a 5th of the way done, which is pretty good. It actually goes by, like, time goes by crazy fast when you're smithing, I find. And I do tend to do a lot of smithing. Helvhammers do help out a lot. I like Helvhammers, especially just for, like, making lights. It makes it a lot easier than having to do the plates. Also, processing the iron, it's really convenient, but I especially like it for just doing a lot of lighting. Because, like, I like smithing a lot, but when you need, like, say, 100 plates to do lots of lanterns, it's a little bit nicer to have a Helvhammer setup going, or a few Helvhammer setups going, to just simplify that a little bit. I'll be back here in a bit. I'll probably get some charcoal going as well once I finish this up, because I don't need it right this second, but I am going to need it very, very soon. Because if I'm planning on doing any smithing after this, like down the road or whatever, I'm going to have some more charcoal made up. Okay, it's now the 2nd of November. It's been a little bit. I finished the plates up. I took them up there, and that ewe is not ours, by the way. That's just a wild one that really wants at the troughs, I guess, or really wants this ram. I don't know. But I'll probably end up slaying it at some point, because we will end up wanting some protein. 1 day remaining for those eggs. Okay, well, anyways, I was making one last pass. I went ahead and grabbed some berries, try to use up our fruit while we have it. You know, at least get a little bit. Maybe won't go bad. And I think we're all ready to set out. I will say, at some point during the winter, I'll probably slip down here and kill these chickens, because these can go. Because I was basically just keeping them as a food source for later. I did put a door on this, just to kind of block it off. And I brought us up a bunch of tools and stuff as well. So, we take a look in here, we've got all of this stuff. And then I got all of this stuff up here. I brought our armor up because I was like, oh yeah, I need to bring that up. Brought us up some arrows, our bows, some chisels. We got our plates. I went ahead and did the copper plates, and I went ahead and did the bismuth bronze also, actually. Let's go ahead and turn that into our other mining bag. So there's that. Which I will probably go ahead and throw on for now. Because I'll be doing a lot of mining and a little bit of killing and stuff, but most of what I'm going to be doing is mining, I imagine. And basically at this point, I'm just going to start excavating. I'm going to get an idea of kind of the shape that I want and the kind of the flow that I want from this area, which of course this is going to end up getting opened up a lot, and this bridge is going to get bigger, but kind of get the flow that I want and just start excavating out. And I'll try to gather as much smooth andesite as we can while we're in the process of excavating. And this is for here too. Oh yeah, and I should probably repair these. Yeah, let me pop down and get some linen. I never repaired my normal clothes. But it'll probably be a few days before it starts getting cold, but it's not enough time to really start another project. I mean, I could do a little bit of stuff on the windmill, but I don't feel like I'd have enough time to really get done, because I've got to go mine shale and stuff, and I'd rather just go ahead and get inside the mountain base at this point and actually start maybe putting a dent in that, hopefully. Okay, I just want to pop you guys in really quick to show you the progress thus far. I've kind of made myself at home back here and started getting everything set up. If we take a look outside real quick, you can see that winter is just about to be upon us, but look at the view. Look at the view of this. It's going to be great, I feel like. Okay, so let's head back in. I've basically just been excavating out this main room. You can see I've got a lot of andesite, and I can actually feel... I'm going to go ahead and dump off all this andesite stone that I've got. Yeah, we filled that one up. And you can see here I've gotten a bit of smooth stone. It'll get faster here in just a little bit, but if we take a look in here, I've been clearing out this main room. So nothing fancy at the moment. This is basically the first day of mining, what I've gotten accomplished this first day here. So not too bad, but right now it's just, this is basically going to be the entryway. Okay, it's now, I think the next day, I think it was the 3rd when I recorded the last bit. It's been about a day since the last recording. We have expanded out on andesite. This is actually cleaned out right now. But I've started making myself a little bit more at home at this point. And basically what we got going on right now is this is actually going to be like the entryway. I've been putting down signs just kind of as reminders. This is going to be kind of the entryway. I've still got to open it up a lot. You know, I'm just getting paths and stuff ran at the moment. So it's not going to be all super claustrophobic like this. But we come through. This is actually, these are going to be stairs that step up. And then they'll step up again right here. Left and right here are entries to the side towers. They're actually going to come over and they're actually going to curve and then curve back around, kind of wind in to these kind of towers there at the entry. Or what I'm calling towers. You know, we're in a mountain, so. But you get the idea. So both of these paths are going to run to towers. And then this is going to continue on. There's going to be stairs here, and then this is going to enter the next area, which is actually eventually going to be a big, almost circular shape or oval shape. I haven't decided which one just yet, but that's going to open up, and this is going to be the Plaza Market area. And then back here, I should put Plaza Overlook, maybe more, because I'm going to have an overlook that kind of overlooks the plaza up a little bit, you know. Over here, we are going to have storage and kitchen access and related. Access is on the other side too. That just means access to other parts of the base from this direction. I'm sure we'll have some other entrances to access, probably over down these tunnels, and have them kind of curve around and plug in. Hopefully it makes sense. I'm just digging tunnels. This area over in this direction is negative. Originally I was like, well, I'll put the smith over here, but I'd like to have the smith in a place that's positive or neutral. Ideally, since this is going to be the smith that we actually spend a lot of time in, this is going to be our big smith. So over here we actually have a positive area, and this is going to be the smith and access, mining and invention is what it's going to be over here. And as we get a little bit closer, you'll notice that we do start, yeah, we're slightly positive, and I think it'll probably get more positive as we go out this way. So you will notice that I found copper. I found copper here. And something else interesting, I had to pop down to go get charcoal earlier so I could write the signs, right? Because I didn't bring any charcoal up with me. And I was thinking about grabbing the forge. I've still got, I've still got 6 pickaxes plus this one. But I'm probably going to have to make more pickaxes. But I went down there to get charcoal, and then I also removed that hen box because our babies are born. And I came across something. But I was coming across the bridge and I noticed something because it was daytime. And the angle that I was coming through here, I'd never noticed this before. I don't think. Either that or I noticed it. You guys might remember if we ever saw it in one of the earlier videos. It would have been early when we lived in this little cave. But actually, right over here, we have a rich copper deposit on the side of this mountain. Totally didn't realize it was here. Or I forgot, one or the other. But we do have a rich deposit just right here. So much copper in this mountain, I swear. I'll show you the new round of baby chickens. Look at that. We got 3 again, and they are all, of course, generation... Oh, come here. Generation 3 chicks. This area, the hamlet area, is really just our agriculture area. It's just kind of where we had to start and where we had to live. Because it takes a lot of time and a lot of pickaxes to dig through this. Luckily, we've got iron. It makes it a whole lot easier. And we have lots of iron. So that helps. And then, of course, we needed food. You know, you've pretty much, in Vintage Story, you've pretty much got to start with agriculture. You know, with something like Minecraft, you can put it off. Vintage Story, yeah, maybe if you want to hunt all the time, but you really do want to get agriculture up and going as quick as possible. Okay, and I wanted to pop you guys in real quick to show you that we have copper. More copper. I was starting to bring my curved staircase down here and came upon it. So, yeah, we got more medium copper. I'm going to take a sample. I want to say that other one was medium, though. I think I've already got medium and andesite, but I will say we have not had a single troglodyte, which is the new additional name for lurkers, drifters. All the different names that I have for them. This actually seems like it's going to be a pretty decent sized node. And actually, before we cut again for a little bit, I actually want to line something up real quick too, so that we know where it's at and know kind of to plan for it. Okay, I think that's actually probably it. Did we get, well, we got 2 stacks and 6, plus what I already dumped off from when we first came down here before I had the light. So how are we doing on copper? I think we're pretty good on copper, right? For only having been in here a couple days, I think we're pretty good on copper. Plus that. Which those are the same thing, so. Okay, now let's pop down just really, really quick like. Oh, and we do have that rich copper deposit over there, too. And I want to just open up the map. And we're just going to mark that. And that way I can try to line up with that. And basically run a shaft down so we know where it's at. And then we can connect into that and plan around that, you know. And if you're curious about what the inspiration behind this is, or what the inspiration's going to be, you know, if you've been around on the channel for long, you know, I take a lot of inspiration from Dark Souls with some of my builds. And this is actually going to be kind of a blend of, like if you were to mix Iron Keep from Dark Souls 2 with sort of Iron Forge, kind of the dark color palettes and stuff, and then taking it and, you know, going with that whole like mining or metalworking focus, as it were. But so the hamlet is basically just going to be our agriculture center, you know, because we can't really farm inside of a mountain. So the hamlet, that's going to be the purpose of that. And we'll just kind of expand it and work on it and work on this. Kind of bounce between them to some degree and just continue expanding the hamlet out. But if you recall, like the tables we did for the forge, like those chiseled ones that I made for the ingot casts and stuff, those were kind of like rusted iron, and that's because theoretically they would have come from, you know, this area. So we're going to be using a lot of dark colors, kind of going with that Iron Keep color palette. So we've got a lot of dark. That's why we, you know, that's why we wanted the basalt, and why we want obsidian, and why we want chert and slate, is because we're going to be going with a lot of kind of dark colors, gray colors like the shale, stuff like that. What I'm digging out right now is actually the smith area. Starting to dig out here is going to be the smith. But I want, of course, right now we're just excavating to get area uncovered. But what I want is kind of some higher ceilings in places. This is actually going to lead out. My plan is it's going to come out, stairs go down. I'm actually going to bring this out and kind of curve it. So it's just slightly rounded as you come down this curved staircase. This is going to walk out. It's going to be slightly rounded and glassed in so you can look out over the forge. And then these pathways would come out to like sort of like a mezzanine area that crosses, and there's going to be stairs right as you come in that go down to the forge floor, you know. And then we'll have this nice big. It's going to be longer than it is wide. Kind of, you can just stand here and look down across that forge. And I'm thinking we'll have the big molten metal basins and stuff, like the big molten metal cauldrons. You know, I don't want to add mods for like super convenient stuff that makes things easier on us necessarily, but I will probably, I don't know of a mod. It's not something that I've ever wanted to do in Venture Story until now. But I'm going to look and try to find a mod that allows us to move lava, because I'm going to want lava here. You know, it's a big molten metal foundry and a whole base built around the idea of smithing and war, you know. So naturally we're going to have lava, like lava flows and stuff in this. So I'll probably be adding a mod in for that at some point. All this dirt everywhere, this is my planning. It's my planning space, basically. I swear I can't go very long with a cut. I've been digging this out a bit, where the forge is going to be. And you can see there's going to be steps that come out down to here on both sides. So I had dug that one, and I was starting to dig the other one. I found copper again. This is poor copper and andesite. This is really dense here. And it's only November 7th. I feel like we're making really good time on the excavation to where we'll actually get to do a little bit of building before the end of winter as well. Because, I mean, we're not going to get everything excavated this year. We're only going to excavate basically to the smith, excavate this out a bit. And that's probably as far as I'll go in terms of excavating this year. Because this, getting the smith in place, you know, I've kind of got to take it step at a time. And I would like to get our proper smith set up, because we get our proper smith set up, we can set up Helvhammers. We set up Helvhammers, we can light up the world. Without, you know, having to sit at the forge making plates all day. So how do we do on the copper? I'd say we did pretty fair. Is it exactly 2 stacks? How weird. Well, let's go back. I like to take my copper back when it's fresh right out of the stone and put it into the chest. By the way, this, I'll show you that path in just a moment. This path, I wind it around just a little bit here. But this right here comes out to the translocator that we've got activated. And this path right here, it actually goes up. And I've still got to shape this up and do the whole hall section here. But this actually comes out. I've just got it blocked off because of drifters, you know. Though I might take some candles through there and light it up a little bit. Plus, I mean, they're spawning in here now, so not really a big deal, I guess. But I need more lights. Always, I need more lights. So yeah, we're actually sitting pretty spiffy on some copper right now. I don't have as much copper as I have iron, but I'm getting close to what I have left in iron, so I'll probably have to mine iron, set out for mining iron before too long. But yeah, all of these are filled with andesite stone. This one I can fill, and this one here is a fresh crate. So far we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 filled crates of andesite stone. Not to mention like the 4 that I have. Well, not as many because I used a lot of that stone for paths. But I think I've got at least like 3 crates down there filled. So, oh, and actually it is daytime at the moment. So we'll take a look outside. Oh yeah. It's becoming winter outside. Actually, since it's day, let me get food real quick. I feel like we're making really good time. Like, as far as getting this excavated. I mean, I'm literally just mining all day long. The entire day, no sleep, just mine. So, I guess that kind of comes with the territory, but this is actually the first time within Vintage Story I've ever excavated this much stuff. This will be my first, like, mountain or cave build, I think. Like, big cave build within Vintage Story. So, looks like she has been laying in the hen box. Okay, and while we're down here, I also want to go ahead and pick up our charcoal. Yeah, because we got time today. Okay, we got a little over 2 stacks, which isn't too bad. But yeah, I'm going to head back up. I'm going to get back to mining and resume my life as the mountain hermit. Okay, I wanted to pop you guys in. I'm still clearing out this space, but there is another copper deposit over here. This should be too far away from the other one, you know, because that was way down there. And it seems like this one is more on the upper section. Copper Mountain living up to its name today. Oh, and something I want to do really quick, because Captain Morgan requested it in the last episode that went out, and I did update the very first episode in the description. So if you do, if it's easier for you just to go there and copy it, it's in the first episode description. But the seed for this world is that 949689461. So if anybody's curious about the world that I'm in, it's a generous world. You know, it's funny because I had been considering changing the name of Copper Mountain to Iron Mountain, you know, because we've been getting so much iron around here. And Copper Iron Mountain just seems convoluted, you know, to have both of them in the name. But I don't know, I'm really feeling like Copper Mountain wants to be Copper Mountain. It's just copper all over the place in here. And I may end up, of course, exposing a little bit more as I dig out the ceiling. But I think, if nothing else, we got the majority of it. You know, should have went over one more to dig that, but that's okay. Okay. I'm not that worried about the smooth stone. I'm just getting it when it's convenient. So, so how did we do? We got a stack and 20 plus native copper ore. No crystallized chunk, unfortunately, but they're pretty rare, so you usually have to work a little bit to complete a collection of crystallized chunks. So we'll toss this in. We are doing mighty well indeed on some copper. Okay, as I've been digging this out, I did come across a little bit more copper. I just found another piece here, but I don't think there's going to be much more. But I did find like 5 more. I already dropped it off back in our chest. But you can kind of see, at this point, you can kind of see the shape that we're going to have for the roof, like a rough idea of the shape. Still got to bring it back further and then, of course, shape it all up. You know, we'll probably use the chisel and make it a little bit more smooth than that. But also, if we come through here, I did go ahead and I dug out a tunnel just to see how far it was to the outside. It's actually a pretty good distance here that it runs back. We're not going to run it all the way back. I was just kind of seeing about how far it would be to go through to the outside from here. So, pretty good distance. We're not going to run all that. We're not going to run all the way back there, but that's fine because I wasn't really needing to. I was just, like I said, I was just curious. But yeah, so anyways, I'm going to continue excavating this room a bit, bringing this back, and then I'll probably start clearing out some of the front here. Okay, it actually hasn't been a long time since the last cut, but I wanted to pop you guys in. I built a wall here. That's just surface drifters because I just ran in here, but I built a wall here and put a door there because I had a medium temporal storm. And I will say that not many drifters spawn during a temporal storm. Like, I actually had time to come up here and mine. I was just mining quartz, right? And I did bring over some stuff for smithing because I've got 2 pickaxes after this one is all. And then I'll need to smith some more. But while I was up here mining, I found rich copper. Just right above our heads here. Oh, that actually connects. Okay. Let me block that off. See, we like barely missed it when we ran the bridge over. And this is probably part of that quartz that runs on the outer edge. And I kind of want to leave that at least as much as I can. So I'm probably not going to mine this quartz too much further over. Okay, so how did we do? We got a stack and 19. Plus we got a crystallized chunk. And we got a rich native copper ore. That is not bad at all. This is like all the goodies that we've gotten so far. We've gotten so much stuff already. Well, anyways, back to clearing. Okay, if you guys want to see how I mine smooth stone, basically I just do a checkered pattern, kind of like this, and I'll do it every 2 blocks, or 2 blocks wide, I mean. So I'll dig trenches out around the area, and you can scale it out vertically or horizontally. Right now I'm clearing this room, so I'm basically digging it and going vertical with it. But then basically what I'll do is just dig out trenches like that, and then as I go through and I break this stone, I start getting a lot of smooth stone kind of falling off. So once you get your trenches dug, you're breaking 4 blocks by breaking 2, pretty much. Okay, if you want to see how it is going, we are actually making pretty decent progress. This goes back a little ways. And then I left these little sections here. So basically I can just bring, this down. And then I can access and get up to where the roof needs to be brought back further. And then whenever we do the actual roof, hopefully here soon, then we can just build a dirt platform and work it, from up here. But steadily getting all of this excavated. You can see my checkered pattern collecting smooth stone down through here. So making pretty good progress. I only have to bring it down to about this point. So a couple more passes and all this will be down where it needs to be. And then right here there's going to be some walkways, kind of like a mezzanine, but not, well, probably not exactly. Because what I'm thinking is long term we'll have some stuff kind of pushed in under this. Maybe for making steel or coke or ingot storage. We'll do something down inside of there, but steadily opening this up. But this is actually our very last pickaxe that we brought down with us. Surprise, we got actually quite a bit dug out with just the pickaxes we brought, but I think we had about 8 or something like that that we came up here with. So, and it is also about to be December 2nd. So, but I think we're making pretty good progress so far. But at this point, I am going to have to get some blooms going. Oh, and I did, actually, between cuts, I did mine one more copper vein. At first, I thought it was part of the other one, because it was right on top of it. I failed to notice that it was a different quality than the one that we mined in the last cut. So technically it was a separate node, but it was like right on top of it, and I got about 2 stacks out of that as well. I think it was a little, maybe a little shy or a little over 2 stacks, I don't know. But I mined up more copper. Always more copper. But if you want to see what we've gotten so far, we've gotten all of this. A lot of smooth stone, as you can see. As I've gotten into that room and started excavating that, because, you know, through here I was just digging like 5x5s and 3x3s, and they were only 3 tall, so I was only cutting out the middle, so smooth stone a little bit slower without making a big mess. But as we've been excavating that room, we've ramped up stone production by a lot. We have basically a chest filled with copper, more than a chest, plus quite a bit of quartz. Pretty happy about that. We're not going to be hurting for our andesite smooth stone anytime soon. Unfortunately, I don't really have any plans for it. It'd be great if we were building in the basalt mountain, but copper mountain is just better. It looks better, and better resources too. So, how are we doing on temperature? -11, but we're still setting it a cool 37.8 constant. So, we have 14 full crates and almost a 15th full crate of andesite stone. At the moment, we're making good progress. So, of course, I'm going to be bringing it back further. I think I want it a little bit longer than this, you know? Okay, I've been excavating a bit more, and just to give you an idea, let me pop up here. I'll show you what we've been excavating, but we found copper there, and of course we found some copper over there, but we found some copper there. We came right down the staircase, we found a bunch more copper here. Then we started in this room, we found copper there. We found copper, it was right over there, pretty much, actually right there, you can see, where we dug out some for copper. We also found copper, what, here, there. We found some right over here. And you can see I've been bringing this back. I didn't get as much smooth stone this time because I was basically just shaping up the top, and then I'm about to excavate downwards, of course. But right up here, and this seems like it's going to be a different node again, we have more copper. I can't go very far without tripping over one of these copper deposits. Tripping over copper, tripping over iron, it's not a problem. I kind of wish I was tripping over zinc right now, but maybe one day. I'm hoping that our basalt quarry, because we're going to have to start quarrying that really heavy here soon. Because, of course, as we get this excavated, we're going to need more and more basalt. Because we're basically taking the basalt mountain, or the basalt hill, I guess. It's not really a mountain, but we're taking the basalt mountain, and we're going to be transplanting a lot of that basalt over here. Okay, I think we've got just about everything. I may come across more, because this falls right in my quarry zone. Like right on this edge, so all this is going to get quarried back. And I think, honestly, I think at this point, this is probably the last segment that I quarry. And I'm getting troglodytes spawning. I've got some lanterns made up, so I could light it up a little bit more, but it's going to go back a decent ways. I think that's probably going to be sufficient at that point, because that'll be taking it back quite a ways, I think. So it'll be about this long. I think, honestly, I think that's good. And of course, we can always build some like little attached areas and stuff, but this will be the bulk of it. And then we'll have these little nooks down through here, and then we'll have a lot of the main central stuff kind of laid out in the center. And I'm imagining big piles of ingots and excess anvils and things, and lots of tool racks and stuff. But yeah, almost a stack of rich copper from that. Hello, Drifter. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's hit this up. Maybe kind of sweeten our collection of rich copper from that vein. Look at them. They're like, don't take our copper vein. Like, I was almost tempted just to leave this one. Just as, like, a sign of Copper Mountain. Like, we have so much copper that it's just bleeding out of the mountain. I may end up repairing a lot of this, though. But we ended up filling up the rest of that stack and then getting a stack and a half on top of that, so... it was close to 2 stacks, probably. Like a stack and 50-ish. So that's pretty good, considering that was rich copper. And so we got 2.5 stacks from those 2 nodes. It does look like our chickens have grown up. Yeah, they're full-grown hens now, so... Alright, I'm going to try to separate them. It looks like we got 3 hens from this. They've been laying eggs. I noticed they were laying eggs in their nest boxes, though. So I was actually really happy about that. You're ready to lay, but you're a generation 2. Time for you to go. And this will give us some nice protein. Plus, all of our hens seem to be a good weight, too, so... Alright, I'm just thinning, guys. Don't worry about it. There you go. Now, technically, we could use a cleaver on the hens. Cleavers, they're not as useful, I think, for chickens as they are for, like, pigs and rams. Because, you know, it does take a few hits to kill pigs and rams, usually. And you end up having to chase them around a lot. Yeah. It's Generation 3 hen. Perfect. Huh. We'll just pile up your little dead bodies over here. And you know, something I didn't think about, another really good option would be to build a chicken coop that has a door, and then just run your chickens in during the winter, close it up, and there you go. You got protected chickens, and then you can get them back out in the warmer months once the snow melts. So that's another option. You know, if you're wanting to set up a chicken coop and not have a double fence. I don't like double fences. I try to avoid them where I can, unless I'm using them. No, come here. Come here. I need some more poultry. I might hunt me a few chickens today. Okay, I've been clearing a bit more. You can see all of these crates are filled with andesite stone. We're setting good on smooth stone, good on copper. But I've been clearing a bit more. I want to show you that real quick. So in here, you can see that I've pushed all this back, kind of opened it up. There's actually a little hallway right over here. Which I think instead of it going down, I think it's going to go up. I brought it down just, you know, I don't know why. But I think it's actually going to go upwards instead of downwards once we get it finished in. But it's just kind of curves in right here. And I may have to actually seal this up, push it back, and seal it up a little bit. Or I might just have this one be a little bit different than the other side. But I would like to have those 2 front kind of battlements. I would like to have those be symmetrical, so I probably will have to push it back just a little bit, and basically change up the form of the mountain a little bit on the outside. So, and I mean, I could have them open air, but I feel like I would want them closed in, just due to the nature of those towers and stuff. Now, if we come down, you can see I have brought all this out. Got all of this cleared and lit up. We're actually out of lanterns again, but I do still at least have one that I'm holding on to. I ran through all those plates rather quickly, unfortunately. But, yeah, I think this is a pretty good size. I mean, we can always push it back further. Right over here, of course, this continues on to the teleporter. And this right here, we have copper. And this basically connects back to, you know, where we came up the little passage here. Starting to get some roads ran. What's going to be roads. But we do have a medium deposit of copper, or medium quality deposit of copper in here. And I did find a little bit more copper in that one vein inside the smith that we were mining during the last cut. I did find a little bit more copper. It wasn't a lot. I think it was like 8 or 12 or something like that. You know, it wasn't a ton, but there was a little bit more still littered in there. Okay, I think that's about all of this node. It wasn't really, really big, but we did get 50 medium chunks, so not too bad. And of course, if we're not really having to go out of our way for copper at this point. We're just getting it as we build, basically. A lot of excavation. We're probably getting close to the last of the excavation that we're going to do this year, but we still have a lot to do. Like, for example, and I was thinking, I think this side, either this side or the other side will be artisan, like some artisan guilds. I may split them because, you know, the smith kind of falls under that. Maybe have this side be the more metallic inclined artisan guilds, and then that side be like dyes, cloth, leather, that sort of thing. And then of course we'll have this area with like plaza merchants. Could even have the artisan guilds in the plaza, I guess. But we've got to, of course, expand this back. I want to actually see how far it goes back before we hit the edge of the mountain, which is going to kind of dictate how big this plaza district's going to be. Because I know on the back end, I'm going to want some areas that you can actually view outside of the mountain. And we're going to want some of those littered in, just not this front area. And probably not the smith, at least not directly on the smith. Of course, we're going to have some windmill setups that are powering the smith, and those, you'll be able to access those areas and kind of look down. It's going to be a bit of fun, so... let's go ahead and dump our copper as we do. So we got another batch there, so not bad. And we've gotten crystallized chunks and samples of every possible andesite copper that we could get. So this mountain has been good to us. Very, very good to us. But at this point, we might start turning our attention towards building this out. I've got to edit the footage, see where we're at on time. And we're either going to do a little bit of building this episode, or we'll have to wait till next episode. We'll see. But it's currently December 6th, so we're still making extremely good time. We've been in the mountain mining for like a month and a half, but we've excavated a lot, gotten a lot of resources, and we're setting good, I think, to actually start building some of this out. Okay, it's actually getting pretty close to wrapping up point, so we're going to wind down this video here. We'll pick back up next episode. We're probably going to be going straight into the next recording, because of course I want to get underway with that, which is actually going to be utilizing the spaces that we've excavated, making use of those, and actually starting to build out a little bit. Because I did figure out the exact color palette, the exact blocks, and that sort of thing that we're going to be using for like general stuff, like the general floor and general walls and stuff like that for a lot of the base. So we're going to go ahead, get straight into getting those resources and stuff. There's a few things that we're going to have to make, and I'm going to have to go do a little bit of mining and stuff, some resource gathering, that sort of stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. It was actually a very productive episode. I feel like a lot of excavating, a lot of resources, and I'm very happy we got that much done in such a short amount of time. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out, and I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.